Raymond Burr, the actor who originally played Perry Mason, had a captivating and mysterious life both on and off the screen. Hailing from New Westminster, British Columbia, Burr faced various obstacles throughout his career. However, his talent and determination propelled him to become one of the most iconic faces in television history. Before taking on the role of Perry Mason, Burr had already made a name for himself as a versatile actor in both film and theater. He appeared in over 50 movies, often playing villains or tough characters, showcasing his ability to captivate audiences with his powerful presence. But it was his portrayal of the brilliant defense attorney Perry Mason that truly solidified his place in television history. Burr's depiction of Mason was a perfect mix of intelligence, charm, and unwavering commitment to justice. He brought a sense of seriousness to the character, making him a beloved figure in households all over America. The show, which aired from 1957 to 1966, became a cultural phenomenon, and Burr's performance earned him 2 Emmy Awards for Best Actor. Despite his passing in 1993 due to cancer, Burr's personal life remained shrouded in mystery. He was extremely private and rarely discussed his personal life or sexual orientation. It wasn't until after his death that it was revealed Burr was gay. Despite the challenges of his time, Burr managed to keep his personal life hidden, showcasing his ability to navigate fame while protecting his privacy. The intriguing and mysterious life of Raymond Burr, the actor famous for his portrayal of Perry Mason, is a story worth sharing. Join us today as we delve into some lesser-known tragic truths about him and explore the reasons behind the perception of him as a pathological liar. For his towering height, standing well above 6 feet, and his impeccable fashion sense, often seen in expensive designer suits. With his commanding presence and booming voice, he was a respected figure in his community. From 1957 to 1966, Burr portrayed the character Mason for 9 years. He later reprised this role in 26 TV movies that aired from 1985 to 1993. Additionally, for our friends in Britain, Burr also starred in the popular detective series called Ironside, which ran from 1967 to 1975. However, Burr's personal life was quite different from his public image. By the way, before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to show us some love by giving it a like and subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, and don't even think about leaving just yet. Stay tuned to discover the intriguing details about Raymond Burr's 2 fake marriages and his imaginary son. Raymond Burr, known for his iconic role as Perry Mason, was a man who lived in constant fear of his true self being exposed. In an era where homosexuality was heavily stigmatized, Burr felt the need to create a facade to protect his career and personal life. This fear drove him to embellish his life story with questionable claims and fabrications, making him one of the most prominent examples of mythomania in Hollywood. One of the main reasons behind Burr's need to embellish his life was his fear of losing the role of Perry Mason, which had become the cornerstone of his career. In the 1950s, being openly gay in Hollywood could have devastating consequences, including being blacklisted from the industry. Burr's homosexuality and his relationship with his male partner were secrets he desperately tried to keep hidden. To divert attention from his true self, Burr allegedly engaged in relationships with Hollywood starlets like Natalie Wood. These relationships, however, may have been nothing more than a smokescreen to protect his true identity. Burr's fabricated relationships with women served as a shield, allowing him to maintain the illusion of heterosexuality and avoid scrutiny. To further cover his tracks, Burr went to great lengths to create an entirely fake history for himself. He claimed to be a military veteran, despite never serving in the armed forces. In an attempt to convince skeptics, he even went as far as showing off fake battle wounds. Additionally, Burr invented 2 non-existent marriages, insisted he had a deceased son, and fabricated sexual relationships with female stars. The extent of Burr's mythomania is truly astonishing. His entire life story, from his military service to his marriages and relationships, turned out to be a complete lie. It is a testament to the lengths he went to protect his career and personal life in an era where being true to oneself was not an option. Today, Burr's fears may seem absurd, as society has become more accepting and understanding of diverse sexual orientations. However, his story serves as a reminder of the struggles faced by LGBTQ individuals in the past and the lengths they had to go to protect themselves. Raymond Burr's life, filled with questionable claims and fabrications, remains a fascinating example of the impact societal pressures can have on an individual's identity and legacy. Burr's life was filled with a ton of lies, which were initially believed by his first biographer, Ona Hill. She published her book right after his death, accepting these falsehoods at face value. However, his definitive biographer, Michael Seth Starr, later decided to expose the truth and debunk all of these claims. In his book, Hiding in Plain Sight, The Secret Life of Raymond Burr, Starr set the record straight. Raymond William Stacey Burr was born on May 21, 1917, in New Westminster, BC, Canada. As a chubby little baby, he carried around some extra weight that would impact his life in both positive and negative ways. By his early 20s, Burr hadn't been known to date anyone. However, a gossip columnist named Ed Sullivan made things complicated when he spread an unfounded rumor about Ona Munson, the actress who portrayed Belle Waddling in Gone with the Wind, flirting with Burr. There was just one small issue with this rumor. Despite Ona's 3 failed marriages, each ending in divorce, she was actually a lesbian who had been romantically linked to both Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich. Burr met his one and only wife, Isabella Ward, also known as Bella, in 1943 during his first season at the Pasadena Playhouse. They starred together in his first Playhouse production, Quiet Wedding, and got married on January 10, 1948. Their marriage didn't last long, and they separated just 3 months later, eventually divorcing in 1952. Neither Burr nor Ward remarried. Bella later mentioned that some people are just not meant for marriage, including herself. Burr later claimed that Bella wasn't his first wife, stating he was previously married to a Scottish-born actress named Annette Sutherland. He said they met while he was touring Britain in the early 40s and that she died in a plane crash in 1943, along with actor Leslie Howard. However, there is no record of an Annette Sutherland from that time, and she wasn't on the flight log of Leslie Howard's plane. Raymond decided to add an extra emotional twist to his story by introducing a heartbreaking element related to his son's supposed tragic death. According to Burr, Evan Burr was born in 1943, just before Annette's alleged plane crash. Raymond also claimed that his son Michael passed away in 1953 at the age of 10 after a fierce battle with leukemia. Interestingly, no member of the Burr family had ever met Michael or Annette. If Michael had truly existed, as Burr insisted, he would have been around 5 years old when Raymond married Bella Ward in 1948. When Bella was asked about Burr's son, she revealed that she had never met him because he simply did not exist. However, instead of revealing everything, she chose not to discuss the matter, stating that it wasn't her place to do so. Regarding the mysterious Annette, Bella added that she was Raymond's first and only wife. If he had been married before, Bella believed he would have told her. Join A Legend's Legacy to discover more about the shocking truth behind Raymond Burr's fabricated life. After splitting up with Bella, Burr decided to bring up another wife from his past that no one had ever heard of before. This time, her name was Laura Andrina Morgan. According to Burr, they tied the knot either in 1955 or 1953, but he couldn't seem to remember the exact year. You'd think that would raise some eyebrows, but surprisingly, nobody questioned it at the time. Conveniently enough, Laura conveniently passed away not long after she and Burr got together. She supposedly lost her battle with cancer right before their planned honeymoon in the Bahamas. The strange thing is, nobody close to Burr had ever met Laura or even knew she existed until he started talking about her. And to make matters worse, there's absolutely no evidence to back up her existence. You can't just make up stories and expect everyone to believe them without any proof. Eventually, people started to doubt Burr's timeline. If he really did marry Laura in 1955, that would mean their relationship began shortly after the death of his supposed son, Michael Evan. It would also coincide with the time Burr was documented to be in Korea, entertaining U.S. troops during the Korean War. Later on, he tried to justify his marriage to Laura by claiming she was terminally ill and he knew her time was limited. But it all seemed a bit too convenient, don't you think? Natalie famously dated gay and bisexual men, as evidenced by her first marriage to actor Robert Wagner ending when she found him with another man in their house. When questioned about the rumors surrounding her and Burr, Natalie clarified that they were concocted by publicists to protect him. She emphasized her love for him and their close friendship, but made it clear that they were not romantically involved. Burr, on the other hand, claimed that their affair was real but was terminated by the studio executives who wanted to separate them. Throughout his career, Burr's statements about himself were proven to be false, including his non-existent military background. Despite a brief stint in the Coast Guard, he falsely claimed to be an Army veteran. There were reports, likely encouraged by Burr himself, that he was wounded in the Battle of Okinawa in 1945, with bullet fragments still in his stomach. He even alleged that he received the Purple Heart for his bravery, but none of it was true. If Burr had actually served in the military, there would be evidence to support his claims. However, no such proof has ever been found, confirming that it was all a sham. During the filming of Perry Mason in 1957, Burr crossed paths with his life partner, Robert Benavides, who was not only an actor but also a Korean War veteran. They decided to share a home together in 1960 and remained together for the next 33 years of Burr's life. Some whispers even suggested that they secretly married in 1963. Burr always referred to Robert as his husband and was perfectly content taking on the role of the wife by handling all the household chores. Burr chose to keep his true self hidden until 1993 when he discovered he had kidney cancer and was nearing the end of his life. He passed away at his California home at the age of 76 on September 12, 1993. In his will, he left his entire $32 million estate to Benavides and his family. Before passing judgment on Burr for his deceit, it's important to remember that being gay in Hollywood during his time was not something one would openly share. The stakes were much higher back then, and revealing his true identity could have jeopardized everything he had worked so hard for. His lies stemmed from fear, not malicious intent. Nowadays, it's no big deal when a celebrity comes out, but Burr had to tread carefully to protect his career and personal life. Join Facts Verse to delve deeper into Raymond Burr's life, which was shrouded in secrecy. Now it's your chance to voice your opinion. What are your thoughts on Raymond Burr and his web of lies? Considering the era he lived in, do you forgive him or do you believe he should have been more open about his true self? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Raymond William Stacey Burr was born on May 21, 1917, in New Westminster, British Columbia. His father, William Johnston Burr, was a hardware salesman, while his mother, Minerva Annette, was a pianist and music teacher. When Burr was 6, his parents divorced, and he moved to Vallejo, California, with his mother and siblings. He attended San Rafael Military Academy and graduated from Berkeley High School. In 1986, Burr mentioned to journalist Jane Ardmore that he spent a year working as a ranch hand in New Mexico when he was 12. He also shared his passion for growing things and his involvement with the Civilian Conservation Corps during his teen years. Burr began acting at a young age, making his stage debut at 12 in a Vancouver stock company. His early life experiences, as described by Burr, sometimes contradict each other, creating a recurring pattern in his autobiographical reminiscences. Burr grew up during the Great Depression and had dreams of studying acting at the Pasadena Playhouse. Unfortunately, he couldn't afford the tuition. In 1934, he joined a theater company in Toronto and traveled all over Canada. He then joined another company that toured India, Australia, and England. While pursuing his acting career, Burr also attended Long Beach Junior College and taught at San Jose Junior College. It was in 1937 that he officially became associated with the Pasadena Playhouse. In 1940, Burr decided to move to New York. He made his Broadway debut in a musical revue called Crazy with the Heat, but the show didn't last long. However, his big break came in 1942 when he stepped in as a replacement in a Pasadena Playhouse production. From there, he became a member of the drama faculty and performed in numerous plays. His talent caught the attention of RKO Radio Pictures, leading to a contract with them. In 1944, he even had a summer residency at Elitch Gardens Theater in Denver, Colorado, where he showcased his acting skills in multiple plays. Actor Burr appeared in over 50 films from 1946 to 1957 and became known for his portrayal of villains in film noir. Film historian Alan Silver highlighted 10 of his most significant works in the genre, including Desperate, Pitfall, and Crime of Passion. Burr's role as a private detective in Pitfall was praised for its complexity and became a prototype of film noir. However, Burr also appeared in other genres such as westerns, horror films, and period dramas. In an interview, Burr acknowledged his weight and lack of self-esteem during his early career, playing older characters and never getting the girl. Despite this, he also had occasional roles on the right side of the law, such as the aggressive prosecutor in A Place in the Sun. Burr's performance in that film caught the attention of Gail Patrick, leading to his casting as Hamilton Burger in the TV series Perry Mason. At the age of 12, Burr began his career in national radio dramas in San Francisco. His weight of over 300 pounds limited his on-screen roles, but his voice quality allowed him to excel in radio. He played both romantic leads and menacing villains, earning a comfortable income. Burr had a prominent presence on the West Coast radio scene and worked on various shows such as Pat Novak for Hire and Dragnet. He also appeared in Los Angeles-based series like Suspense, Yours Truly Johnny Dollar, and Hallmark Playhouse. Burr's most notable radio role was in The Silent Witness in 1957. He occasionally used the name Ray Hartman for some of his radio appearances. In 1956, Burr starred in the successful CBS radio show Fort Laramie. He received fan letters and praise for the show's authenticity. Later that year, Burr was chosen to star in the television series Perry Mason, leading to the end of his radio career. Throughout his television career, Burr made an effort to involve his radio colleagues, with approximately 180 radio celebrities appearing on Perry Mason in its first season alone. Burr became a well-known actor on television during the 1950s. He started his TV career in 1951, making appearances in shows like Stars Over Hollywood, The Bigelow Theater, Family Theater, and the first episode of Dragnet. He continued to appear in various programs such as Grew-In Playhouse, For Star Playhouse, Ford Theater, Lux Video Theater, Mr. and Mrs. North, Schlitz Playhouse of Stars, and Playhouse 90. In 1956, Burr tried out for the role of Perry Mason in a new CBS TV courtroom drama based on Earl Stanley Gardner's novels. Ephraim Zimbalist, Jr. was already set to play Perry Mason. Burr offered to play the district attorney, Hamilton Burger, if he wasn't a good fit for the lead role. Executive producer Gail Patrick Jackson thought Burr was perfect for Perry Mason but needed to lose weight. After a crash diet, Burr tested for the role and got the part. Gardner himself approved of Burr as Perry Mason during the test. William Hopper auditioned for Mason but ended up playing Paul Drake. The show also featured Barbara Hale as Della Street, William Talman as Hamilton Burger, and Ray Collins as Lieutenant Arthur Tragg. The series aired from 1957 to 1966, making Burr a household name. By the early 1960s, the show had 30 million viewers each Saturday night, and Burr was receiving 3,000 fan letters weekly. He received Emmy nominations and won in 1959 and 1961 for his portrayal of Perry Mason. The series has been in syndication since its original run and was released on DVD from 2006 to 2013. Perry Mason is known for never losing a case, although he did lose 2 murder cases off-screen in early episodes. Burr made a switch from CBS to Universal Studios, taking on the lead role in the TV series Ironside, which aired on NBC from 1967 to 1975. The pilot episode introduces us to Robert T. Ironside, the chief of detectives in San Francisco, who becomes paralyzed after being shot by a sniper. Following his rehabilitation, he relies on a wheelchair for mobility, making Ironside the first crime drama to feature a disabled police officer as the main character. Burr's outstanding performance in the series earned him 6 Emmy nominations, including 1 for the pilot and 2 Golden Globe nominations. In the spring of 1993, while filming his final Perry Mason movie, Burr became sick. According to a Viacom spokesperson, his illness could have been related to the kidney tumor he had removed in February. Unfortunately, it was discovered that the cancer had spread to his liver and was inoperable. Before his passing on September 12, 1993, at his ranch in Sonoma County near Healdsburg, Burr hosted several goodbye parties. He was 76 years old. Following Burr's death, Arthur William III, the president of the American Bar Association, released a statement praising Burr's portrayal of Perry Mason. He stated that Burr depicted lawyers in a professional and dignified manner, and his passing felt like losing one of their own. The New York Times reported that in a 1993 National Law Journal poll, Perry Mason was ranked second among admired attorneys, just behind F. Lee Bailey and ahead of notable figures like Abraham Lincoln, Thurgood Marshall, Janet Reno, Ben Matlock, and Hillary Clinton. Burr was laid to rest alongside his parents at Fraser Cemetery in New Westminster, British Columbia. On October 1, 1993, a private memorial service was held at the Pasadena Playhouse, where around 600 family members and friends gathered to pay their respects to Burr. In his will, Burr left his estate to Robert Benavides, excluding all other relatives, including his sister, nieces, and nephews. The will faced unsuccessful challenges from the two children of Burr's late brother, James E. Burr. 216-18 Benavides' attorney clarified that reports of a $32 million estate were exaggerated by tabloids. Burr's legacy continues to live on through his iconic portrayal of Perry Mason. In 2014, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce posthumously awarded Burr a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his contributions to television. Additionally, his portrayal of Perry Mason has been immortalized in various forms of media, including radio dramas, comic books, and a successful television reboot in 2020. Despite his passing, Burr's impact on the legal profession and the entertainment industry remains significant. His dedication to his craft and his portrayal of a principled and skilled attorney have left a lasting impression on audiences around the world. William Hopper, who played Paul Drake on Perry Mason, summed up Burr's legacy best when he said, "Raymond was Perry Mason.